mercy. Ain't no mercy.
Hello everybody, Jason back here again. Today we'll be talking spoilers on War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, I know some of you guys have already seen the movie by now. It came out like last month on July 14th. And I always wanted to talk spoilery throughout this. I want to make a spoiler video about this certain movie because this is probably one of the best films that I've seen this year. And so I really want to talk more about it and get into more about it. I already saw the movie again, and my thoughts were still the same. So the movie starts out with a little bit of an epilogue, like the rise of the Planet of the Apes. Like the apes are rising because of this mutation, the Serominous virus, or whatever it's called. And the dawn, when Kobo went all ape shit, he had started this war, and now the dawn. And then it goes to the war, which is present day. And then the title goes in like War for the Planet of the Apes. And then we see these group of soldiers go into the some sort of ape wall. And then you get that big shot of the ape going toward the fog. And then all these other apes just come in. And then they all start attacking the human. And they're like this big epic first fight. To be honest, it is actually probably one of the most intense fights in the movie. Not only does it set up the movie very well, but it also sets up the conflict between the apes and the humans very well. And the whole acting, the way it's filmed, is beautiful. Each shot is seamlessly breathtaking. I loved it. And the apes gather like 4 men and another gorilla. Which, by the way, there are apes that used to be with Koba from the last movie, from Dawn, and they are working with the humans because they have nothing else to do, and that they don't agree with Caesar. And so we see this gorilla named Donkey, and he like the traitor, and these soldiers are just trying to get not to as much information except for this one, and Donkey is insulting Caesar. And they take the donkey as a prisoner, but they let the 4 men go as a way that they're not savages, because these humans, since the very beginning, think that these apes are savages, and that's why these people want to kill them. And so Caesar just lets them go as a sign of peace, no war. But soon later in the day, when his son comes back, and his family wants to get reunited because they somehow found a better place to go to and make a home out of, because the humans are coming into the forest and the apes are getting wiped out and they're trying to get out there. But the colonel, the villain, comes in, kills his family, and Caesar goes apeshit. I'm going to use that word a lot in this video. I'm sorry. I apologize for my terrible sense of humor. So Caesar attacks him, and his only son left, which is his youngest, is the only biological family he really have left. And he goes out on a path of revenge. He sets out his entire colony of apes to the promised land, and he goes out on his own, but Maurice and a few other apes want to go with him, and now they are after the colonel, and the scenes are beautiful. Each shot, even from the few beginnings of the film, well, not beginning, from the few scenes from the film, opening of the film. Like, there's a scene where the apes gather all these dead bodies and take them into the water to float away like a funeral. It's so beautiful. This is such a good looking movie. And I have to say again, the special effects on the apes, oh my god, they are so good. I never thought for a second that these were like CGI creatures. I am always like, these are real apes. Oh my god, these are so good. And I'm not gonna get into much. Let's just continue on with the story. So they find this little girl, and they found this man. They shoot the man because he was about to shoot him. Obviously, he's afraid of apes. They discovered that little girl that the guy was taking care of can't talk. And this plays a major part in the movie because later on in the movie, we see sorry, I sometimes stutter when I talk a little too long, but we see 3 dead bodies, and one of them seems to be alive. And now, they are like, why aren't they talking? What's going on? And we learn later on in the film that the virus has mutated and is going into people, making them dumber, kind of like making them apes, like they can't talk. And we'll talk more about that later on in the video. But they find a little girl, she can't talk, so they take her with them. Because they don't want to leave her alone. And they just want to take care of her. They also go across the Bad Ape, which is a character that I was worried about. He liked the comedic relief character, but he worked well in the film. I really liked his character. They put him in a perfect emotional level, and I really, really dug it. And he has such a great opening scene where he steals the goggles and a gun and their horse from them. And there's an epic chase fight between them when they are at this tower to Bad Ape's home. And so Bad Ape decided to join them and take him to the camp where apparently the colonel and his group of men enslaved his entire ape colony. All of Caesar's, ape people, is now a Holocaust-like prison. And it's really not much about the war, but really, it's like the emotional war inside of them, like the psychological war between Caesar and the humans. Because Caesar gets caught, and right now, he's like what character would it be like? I would say he's like Joseph and Moses, a little bit of both characters. No, not characters, people from the Bible. And he is like being tortured, being enslaved. He tried to help his apes, but they are just not having it. They don't trust him. They're like, you left us here, and now we're in this Holocaust concentration camp because of you. So, it's really a brutal camp when you think about it, because these apes done nothing, and they're being tortured to death. Well, not to death. Their kids are being enslaved also. And Maurice, Bad Ape, and the others is trying to get him out. And we learn a little bit more about the colonel, who is like the leader of the human race in this little area. They wanted to build a wall because there's other people who don't agree with them going to come in and attack them. And they are using these apes because they could build things faster. And we see more of Donkey because he escaped. And, well, it seems like the albino ape, I forgot his name, Winter or something, he betrayed him. He accidentally let Donkey go because he's scared. And he basically died. This happened earlier on in the film. I forgot to mention it here. But let's continue on with Donkey. He's like the little assistant with every villain who is going to agree with him no matter what. But he really does have a good character because you see a little bit of humanity with him, and you see whenever he sees other apes being killed, he actually feels some sort of emotion. Which by the end of the film, which we'll talk about it, his character has such a good conclusion. So, Maurice, Bad Ape, and the little girl goes and find a tunnel. And they need to dig these apes from the ground to the other side of the fence. Now, since the humans have finally come and the war had begun, Caesar just wants nothing but revenge, but to kill the colonel because he killed his family. Even Maurice said that he turning to Koba, only being consumed by hate. And really, I really like that epilogue because sometimes you see they're having visions of Koba, and you can always see the fear in his eyes. And I really like those things. This movie is full with beautiful scenes, beautiful dialogue. Andy Serkis' acting is great. But really, Caesar doesn't kill the colonel because he found a doll that the little girl had, and that virus that was within her is going into him because he's right now turning into an ape. Well, not really an ape. Caesar was about to kill him, and he realized that there's the worst way. That had the worst way to die. Not just from a gunshot, but from turning into an ape. Well, he's not really dying, so really hard to say some things here without mentioning too much. Because I don't want to mention too much. This video is going a little, what time is it? 12 minutes? No, 13 minutes. Okay, now. So, this is where the movie really, really turned into a war film, as the trailer said. The whole battle began. The apes are trying to flee the camp. And the colonel just shoots himself because he does not want to be like his son. So, because his son also turned into like an ape of some sort. And they're like a little dialogue moment where Caesar and Colonel discuss things about the past and about his son and how he stands there holding a gun for a long period of time. So, yeah, it's actually pretty sad, and his character really does have a lot of motivation, and he's not like just a bad guy. I really liked him as a villain. Woody Harrelson's character really shines. And so as the war is raging on, the Caesar is trying to get with his colony of apes, and he has to blow up the wall. It's the only way for the battle to be over. He gets shot, and it seems like he's not going to make it. But Donkey saved his life because he just finally realizes that he is just letting his own kind be killed off. Just because these men are becoming savages. So he kills the guy who's about to blow him to bits. And he's like, "You're awesome, Caesar. Sorry I doubted you." And he just takes the bullet to the head. So, And Caesar blows up the tank, he blows up the wall, an avalanche comes out of nowhere because of the whole explosion, and Caesar trying to get out of there, and all the apes survive. Peace be with them. Now they're able to head back to the promised land, but it seemed like the wound that was in Caesar's hip or under pits got him. It's starting to kill him. He's bleeding a lot. And there's like this sad moment where Caesar says, "Apes, strong, with or without me." And he just looks over into the whole landscape and slowly dies a peaceful death. And that is just a perfect way to end a trilogy. The whole Planet of the Apes movies from Rise to War have been some of the most interesting films I have ever seen. They really show the arrogance of human. What would we do if this happens? But really, he shows a lot of emotional sides to the apes if they become really smart. Caesar's character throughout the entire trilogy, from a baby to this so-called leader, I think that was handled brilliantly. He is actually, in my opinion, probably one of the best movie characters ever. And Andy Serkis played him brilliantly. The special effects here also great. The story told was really well written. The editing here, flawless. I cannot find a single problem with this film. I think that there's like one exposition scene where it could be a little bit too long and that they could have cut it out. But overall, War for the Planet of the Apes really delivered throughout all my expectations. And I'm still sticking my grade with an A+ because it's that good. Go watch it. Not enough people are watching it. I hope that later on it will get more money, because to be honest, I really hate it when people don't go into really great films because they are expecting something and some stuff. Just don't watch any trailers and you'll probably have fun. I do trailer reactions, so yeah, there's no point in me saying that. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you had a good time. I know I will today because I'm really excited about my birthday tomorrow. And yeah, that's it. That's all I had to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.
The flame, I torture you. I'm a slave to your games.